Does anybody know what integrity means? Off the top of your head. Integrity? Raise your hand. Are you picking your nose? Okay, cool. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So the definition of integrity is the quality of being honest and having high moral standards. Does that give you a better sense of what integrity means? Now, I think honesty is the biggest word that comes out of that definition. You think it's important to be honest when you're trying to find a job? Okay. This is all job specific too, since that's why we're here. We're all trying to get a job. We're all trying to get the bag, right? Okay, cool. We're all trying to get the bag. So being honest is a very important element to have when you're trying to acquire a job. I also like to talk to you guys like eventually you'll run your own businesses. Does anybody want to run their own business at some point? Okay, so I'll talk to you guys as employers as well. Would you want to hire somebody that doesn't tell the truth? No. So who would hire you if you don't tell the truth? Right? Nobody, right? And those are things that you have to cultivate within yourself. Does anybody have friends or family that count on them for everything? Everything. Okay. Are you coming in, sir?
Yes. Come on and have a seat.
Come on in. So yeah, I see some of you have people that rely on you, whether it's friends, family. Who got kids? Anybody got kids in here? Okay, cool. Well, when you do have kids, that kid is going to be, very heavily reliant on you. So just know that, whether you want to have kids or not. But I'm not going to digress right in that right now. But again, people look at you because you're reliable. You have a form of integrity, okay? People feel safe. People want to be around people who are in control, whether it's within themselves or the way that they do their work, or if you tell them to do something and you do it, they can rely on you. They're trustworthy. That's the kind of person that you want to cultivate yourself to be when you're out there looking for work, okay? Now, in order to develop integrity within yourself, you have to know yourself, right? Everybody thinks they know themselves these days, but they really don't know themselves. And I remember in C-Prep, a couple of times, I had some characters in there, and, they talked about themselves all day. They was at the homies, at the smoke pit, social media, I do this, I do that, X, Y, and Z, right? So then it's time to do mock interviews, right? And what do you do in a mock interview? You talk about yourself, right? And what happened? They get quiet, right? When it counts, they get quiet because they don't really know themselves. Now, they could be shy, okay? It's a lot of pressure when you're asking for a job, okay? But it was pretty remarkable to see people who are so, out there and social, but when it comes to when you are trying to get a job, you shut down, It was funny to me, though, when I was doing the interviews, It was like 50 Cent. I was like, damn, homie. I thought you was the man, homie. It was hilarious. But it was a learning experience for most of those people that had that issue, okay? Knowing yourself is going to give you the confidence to go into interviews and be your true self so that you don't necessarily want to go into an interview needing the job. You want the job, but you don't need the job. You want to go in there feeling like an asset. Who knows what an asset is? Asset?
Something that's usable to the company or whatever.
That's correct, okay? According to the Department of Labor Statistics, there are 6 million unemployed people in this country, okay? I'm a math guy, okay? So 6 million people. The industries that you guys are obviously trying to get into are very competitive. Job Corps is not training you on stuff that you're not going to get a job in, but just know the competition out there is very high. So do you think your game's going to have to be pretty good when you go into interviews so you can stick out, right? Well, the way that you stick out is that you know yourself, okay? There's a value in that. And knowing yourself builds integrity within yourself, okay? Oh, hello. Okay, no problem. Okay, so does anybody have a value system within themselves? Like, do you guys have like a code that you live by? Do you have, like me, my top 3 values are respect, passion, and love. Those are my top 3. I demand respect, okay? I value love, and I walk through life with passion. Does that make sense? That describes my identity, okay? That's what value systems do for yourselves. And that's how you're going to differentiate yourself from your competition out here for the jobs that you're trying to get. When you are in an interview, everybody has the same skills. Their position that's open, thousands of people are applying for that one position, have the skills. What's going to differentiate you from everybody else are your value systems, okay? And even if they hire you, because we're talking about integrity and honesty, right? If they do hire you and you're lying about what you do, you're lying about your work ethic, it's going to show later on. Does that make sense? You are what you repeatedly do. I've had plenty of people in C-Prep tell me they do one thing. I just watch them. 3 days later, they're doing exactly what they said they don't do. You see what I'm saying? So you have to start working on everyday habits so that it becomes muscle memory. Who knows what muscle memory is? Anybody here lift weights? Anybody here? Okay. So you notice when you take a break from lifting weights and then you go back and then you start lifting again, you start to get that strength back. You might have lost a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. Once you go back, the strength comes back much quicker because you have muscle memory. It's the same thing when it comes to being someone of integrity. It's something that you constantly work on. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Now, does anybody have any questions about integrity? Integrity? Okay. Because when you guys go out here into this job market, are you guys currently looking for work right now? Who is already working? That's a good question too. You're working already? Okay, outside of here? Awesome. Anybody else? You're working? All right, good. Who here is looking for work? Okay, good.
Everybody's hands should be up.
Okay, yeah. And don't be those people. I remember in CPAP, I heard it all the time. People were in CTR. They're in that window where they're looking for work and they're in computer labs supposed to be looking for work, and they're just sitting around on their phones, on social media, not doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, if you're trying to get a bag, you got to act like it. I just told you 6 million people are unemployed in the United States. People are hungry for work, okay? And there's some sort of looming recession that's coming, so things are going to get a little bit tighter, which is why when you have value systems within yourself, like I'm specifically talking about integrity, trust is a huge thing now. Who's been hearing in the news about data breaches and companies paying millions of dollars because there's hacks? Well, a lot of that is due to human error. And some of those cases have to do with people they hired that were not reliable or who were not honest about what they said they were doing at work, leaking secrets, leaving things unopened, not being secure, which causes data breaches. Most of it is human error, to be honest. So companies are really looking at just honest people now. There's not a lot of honest people running around here. Do you guys like to hang around with people who aren't honest? Okay. And you're going to notice integrity comes at a cost. Some of you have already noticed that just coming to Job Corps, because you're trying to become a better version of yourself. But when you do that, you're going to start losing people who can't keep up with you becoming your better self. Has anybody already noticed that? It could be a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Hey, I got to make time to study. Or, hey, I got to go catch this bus so I can get to, my training. And friends just want to hang out, don't want to do nothing. If you're going to be the higher version of yourself, there's going to be people you can't hang out with anymore. Does that make sense? When you get into that next level, some people ain't going to be able to go with you. You can't take everybody. And that's okay. I'm telling you that. That's okay. You can leave people behind. They still going to be there. Doesn't mean you don't love them, but you got stuff to do. You got a bag to catch. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. Don't feel guilty about being a better version of yourself. That brings and increases integrity within yourself, because when you come back, higher version of yourself, you come back to your family, they're proud of you, they see you got your stuff together, they start to rely on you more, and you can handle it. All of you have the capability of doing that. Even this guy. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah. What do you mean when you say you bad? What do you mean by that?
My what?
You bad.
My bag?
Yeah, when you say that.
Oh, money. Money. Yeah, that bag. We all want the bag, right? Or money.
You bad like you got like random clothes like you bad like.
No. I only talk about money. I'm not big on fashion. I care about, other things. Huh? Yeah, man. I'm not big on material things. Okay.
Oh, that's his.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mr. Maurice, right there.
Okay. Now, segueing into our second topic of the day, which is resiliency. Who can tell me what resilience is? Well, he answered the last one. Does anybody else know what being resilient is or resiliency? Or go ahead, take a shot.
It's like when you're facing hardships, you're staying through them, you're focusing, you're taking those, as like in boxing, you're taking those blows and you're pushing through them to win.
That is correct. The definition of resiliency is the capacity to recover quickly while facing difficulties. Okay? I want to give you all a lot of credit. You guys are already shown that you are resilient. Job Corps is not easy. Okay? It's really easy to get distracted. Who live off campus? Okay. Everybody else is on campus? Well, there's just as many distractions off as on. But kudos to everybody that's off, because you have to, take transportation here. There's all kinds of stuff you can get to on the way here. Specifically living at home. People just will do everything they can to keep you home. Okay? Those of you that are on campus, a lot of distractions here. Oh man, what's going on, man?
What you say?
What's going on, man? How you been?
Let DC that.
Yep.
But when it comes to resiliency, many of you already faced that even before you came to Job Corps. Who's faced difficulties before they came to Job Corps?
A lot.
All kinds of issues, family issues, relationship issues, legal issues. None of that defines you though, because you're here now. Does that make sense? Don't let your past determine your future, okay? A lot of people use that as like, what's the word? Dead weight. You know what I mean? If it's in the past and you're here, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. A lot of people get hung up on the past and they let it sabotage their future. People sabotage themselves. The craziest thing I've ever seen in Job Corps was right when people get to the end, they're literally about to upgrade and they have fear. They have fear of going to the next level, of being accountable for other things, and they sabotage themselves. I've seen people get in fights, literally, on track. Grades is good, diploma, everything's straight, and then on the last week they about to graduate, they get in a fight, which is automatic termination, right? Is it still like that? Sabotage their own success. Why? Because it's fear. But why would you have fear now if you've already been resilient to this point? You see what I'm saying? Now, many of you are looking for jobs, you're going to get jobs. A lot of what I'm teaching you guys when it comes to value systems is everything beyond just Job Corps. Okay? You're going to have to stay resilient because, like I said, 6 million people unemployed. A lot of competition out there for jobs. I'm a numbers guy. Okay? You guys aren't going into industries where nobody wants those jobs. Like, everybody wants those jobs. That's not even counting people who are underemployed. Who knows what underemployed means?
Have more experience in the position you're working for?
Right. So, just like he said, you took a job that you're qualified for, or you took a job that you're less qualified for, essentially. Okay, you're overqualified, right? But you're taking a job because you just need a job for the money. Those people, I guarantee you, are looking for jobs while they work, okay? So you can add those people, not necessarily to the unemployed numbers, but they're in that pool of people looking for work as well. So the numbers are probably a little higher. Being resilient is absolutely vital. In the military, they taught us that you need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. I want you to remember those 3 things for me, okay? And to stay awake, okay? Sorry. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Opportunities are going to come to you, and you can't let circumstances come in the way of getting those. If you have a job interview for a really good paying job and transportation seems to not work out for you, okay? Part of being resilient is improvising. Another way of being resilient also is using your resources. Job Corps gives you a lot of resources. One of the biggest things that helped me reach success in life, and I'm not even done yet, is asking for help. I used to be so proud to ask for help. Who has a problem asking for help? Does anybody have that problem anymore? Who still has that problem? Okay. I still have, because I'm prideful. As much as I've accomplished, I still have problems asking for help. But it's okay, because everybody that's gotten to where they've wanted to be had to ask for help at some point. And when I started to understand that, I felt less guilty about doing it. I felt less like a burden. Okay? Use your resources that Job Corps gives you. That's part of being resilient. You don't have to do this by yourself. You don't have to do it by yourself. Does that make sense? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Once you improvise, if something's not working out, you got to figure a way out, okay? Improvise. Then you have to adapt, which means whatever that you've improvised to make something work. You got to adapt to it. You got to adjust. Who's had to pay bills on a little bit of money? You've had to cut certain things. You might even had to been late on a couple of things, you know what I mean, to take care of what really is necessary. That's adapting. That's improvising and adapting. Then overcoming. That's the last thing. You believe in the plan that you put together and you overcome it. Okay? You have to believe in what you think you're going to do. Okay? Does that make sense? Perseverance. Perseverance means, is another way of saying being resilient, of course, is winning through adversity. Okay? You guys have to speak life. If you want something, you have to speak it. Don't just keep it to yourselves. Okay? Now, I hope I can come back another time and talk about social media, because that's a whole nother thing too. But listen, you don't have to tell everybody all your moves. You'd be shocked when you keep moves to yourself. You put less pressure on yourself. When you say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to tell everybody I'm going to do this and this and this, you know how much pressure you just put on yourself?
10 times more.
Everybody's watching. What you doing then? What you doing? I thought people pay attention to that. People want to see something, right? Don't tell everybody all your moves. Don't even tell nobody you got that job, okay? Don't tell nobody you're looking for a job. You can do that. You don't got to tell nobody. You don't got to broadcast it out there. Because when you keep things low, you put less pressure on yourself. And, regardless if you fail or not, nobody knows about it. Because, to be honest, nobody cares, too. You know what I mean? But people love to hate, though. Am I right? Hey, you know what I'm saying? If you win, it's like, oh, yeah, congratulations. But you lose, oh, man, I told you wasn't going. Everybody come out of nowhere telling you, hating on you. I knew you couldn't do it. Why do you even think you could do that? X, Y, and Z. Social media is a beast. I'm telling you. And if you have a public profile, you have people you don't even know talking about you. Right. So, if you keep it private, of course, kudos to you. But keep your moves low, man. Keep your moves low. You don't got to tell everybody what you're doing out here. You guys are doing great. Don't sabotage your success. Does that make sense? Especially on social media. I'm going to come back and talk about social media. For real. I'm going to give a whole speech on that because it's crazy. But staying resilient is what you're really going to have to focus on once you get a job, okay? And not just getting a job, which we talk about Job Corps, keeping the job or retaining the job. Everybody can get a job. That's competitive in itself. Keeping it is a whole nother level, okay? You want to be somebody that's reliable. You want to be someone of integrity. Work on that now while you're here at Job Corps, okay? If you say you're going to do something, do it. Integrity is a form of currency. Who knows what currency means? Currency? What's currency?
Any sort of thing used to exchange for goods or services?
Yeah, like money. Energy's currency, okay? Integrity's currency, okay? When someone asks you to do something and you do it, that person sees you as being someone of integrity. That fills it up. But you know what? If you don't have integrity, that'll ruin your reputation. Reputation is huge now. This is a message to everybody. Your reputation matters. Your image matters, okay? When you're going to an interview, dress like you want the job. Nobody's saying you got to sacrifice your individuality, but don't come up in some Jordans either. You know what I'm saying? I see people all the time when I go out. The place obviously says it's hiring. I'm there doing something. I see some people waiting for the interview. I see people in jeans. I see people in, T-shirts. I thought they were just hanging out or something. They're like, no, I'm trying to get this job. I'm like, 6 million people unemployed. You got to step it up. You feel me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just for the job. Don't got to sacrifice your individuality. Shoot, after the interview, take the slacks and all that stuff off and put your J's on or whatever you want to do. But go there knowing that you want the job and you take it seriously. That is what employers look at. And the same thing when you guys run your own businesses. You want somebody coming in there with t-shirt and jeans, asking like they want a job, and you're in a suit or a skirt, whatever? No. You're going to think, is this a joke? Is my business a joke? That's what they're thinking. Does it make sense? Take pride in yourself, okay? Have integrity. Be that reliable person, that asset. Jobs want to hire assets, not liabilities. People they got to watch over. Oh, are they stealing? Oh, are they doing their job? Oh, are they checking YouTube on the computer when they're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z? You know, I've noticed that even now. Oh, because, you know, I mentor a lot of my students that I came out of here with, okay, even after. I got students going on live, Facebook, IG, at work. And I'm on there telling them, what are you doing? You know, it's like, oh, Mr. T, what are you doing? Like, I'm not even playing games. Like, you at work right now live. And then they're going to get fired, and they're going to blame it on somebody else. And that's when integrity and accountability both go together, okay? You're going to lose integrity within yourself and the person that's relying on you. And they're going to hold you accountable. You're going to get fired. Do you realize that? You go live at work, if you're in a health position, like they were at, like, you know, I don't know if they were in some clinic or something, but they were going live in a clinic. That's a HIPAA violation. You don't know what you can see in the background. Could be in the legal, you can get into legal consequences. Keep it low. It's like Jay-Z said, do it big, keep it low. You know what I mean? Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Man, I really, really appreciate you guys' time. Again, I'm proud of you. I've been here, okay, at C-Prep, at Job Corps. I know what y'all go through. I know what y'all struggle with. Use your resources here, okay? These people are here to help you. They're not here to annoy you. Because when you're out there, I'm telling you, I talk to students now who have been done with here. They wish they could come back. Especially the ones that got kicked out. Don't even get me started on them. Okay, these people use them. That's what they get paid for. Use them. Because there's going to come a point in time when you can't access them no more. They might be willing to help you on a personal level, but the system might not let you have access to them. Use them while you can. That's a form of resiliency. When you face difficulties, a setback, use your resources to get back and get it going. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you so much for your time, y'all. I appreciate it.